Good evening again. Courtroom chaos. A child molester attacked a prosecutor right after he was found guilty, and the whole thing was caught on camera. News 13's Cheyenne Cope spoke to the deputy who took down that attacker.
It was an attack no one in this Albuqurque courtroom knew was coming.
I have never seen this happen, ever. I mean, I've seen it on TV, but I've never experienced it or seen it in person.
This was the scene last Wednesday when 31-year-old Michael Cox charged Deputy District Attorney Scott Key, shoved him to the ground, and then tried to punch him. The attack set off a panic with people jumping out of their seats, including the judge, as deputies tackled Cox and the prosecutor tried to jump in for some payback. Cox had just been found guilty of criminal sexual contact for fondling a girl. The attorneys had just approached the judge for a sidebar when the chaos erupted. Katie Smith is the deputy who took Cox down.
I was able to get a hold of the defendant and use the least amount of force possible to go ahead and detain him to get him under control.
Now Cox could be in more trouble.
We're reviewing the tapes, we're looking as to what possible charges could be filed, and we go from there.
They say that the quick thinking of Deputy Smith diffused what could have been a much worse situation.
Our deputy was immediately in there and took control. Of course, our priority is that we have to maintain the safety of the courtroom and all those involved, to include the counsel, the judge, the jury, and also the suspect.
In Albuqurque, Cheyenne Cope, KRQE News 13.
A lawsuit tonight claims a county treasurer sexually harassed one employee. That employee claims Doña Ana County Treasurer David Gutierrez offered her $1,000 if she would go to a hotel with him. Woman also claims he would make inappropriate comments at work. She says it happened in 2014. The woman claims she didn't report it earlier because she was in fear of losing her job. Gutierrez has declined to comment. A fire forced an Albuquerque Sonic to close for the day. The fire was sparked this afternoon at Central and Juan Tabo. AFD says employees called 911 to report smoke and everyone evacuated. Firefighters quickly put out the fire, which started in the bathroom. We're told the Sonic drive-in will be closed for repairs. The cause of the fire is still being investigated. Police are searching for a crook who stole a wallet. They say this woman walked into Mesa Vista Hall on the UNM campus and took a wallet from a purse stored in a desk. The thief was caught using a card at the Walgreens on Central and Rio Grande, then at the Ross there on Central, not too far away. If you know who this is, please call police. A church is battling the city over a new shopping center. Legacy Church is upset because they say the city is about to take away a major entrance to their property so that the shopping center can be built right next door. News 13's Mo Hyder has both sides of this story.
Here's a church right over here to my left, and here is this empty dirt lot where the shopping center would go. Now, the church says if both places have to share it, it could be chaos for traffic.
Legacy Church is a busy spot. Nearly 500 people flock there a few times a week, which means a lot of people trying to get in and out of the parking lot at once. And a lot of people are looking for a parking spot.
We fill and empty this parking lot at least 3 times a week, not counting weddings, funerals, everything else that we might be doing on a very regular basis.
They have 2 driveways on Wyoming, one just north of the church and one just south of it, bordering this massive dirt lot, but the city is on board to build a shopping center on that land.
We're not opposed to development. We actually like development, and we're glad that this is going to be developed.
The church says there is a problem with this development. They say the project would shut down their second driveway, which is actually an alley owned by the city.
They're going to make us close so that the developer next door can have a driveway, and then we would essentially lose ours.
The city disagrees, saying the driveway will be moved a little.
It's going to be realigned. It's going to move to the south just a little bit to line up with Gutierrez, which is the street to, which direction would that be, to the east?
Making it a shared driveway with a shopping center and the church. Legacy believes that's a recipe for chaos.
I think the problem is that the city hasn't considered how many cars we actually filter out onto Wyoming every day. Now add to that 5 restaurants and all using the same choke point.
The city believes the church has no reason to worry.
And based upon all of the information that's come forward at this point, there doesn't appear, we're not anticipating there being a problem.
Now the Legacy Church is working on appealing this decision. Mo Hyder, KRQE News 13.
Legacy says it's had that driveway to itself for 35 years. By the way, construction on the shopping center could start next January. New Mexico is seeing a snowstorm depending on where you live. Here's our Chief Meteorologist Mark Ronchetti. Mark?
Well, Aaron, what we're looking at tonight is especially the east slopes being hit pretty hard, and then even the I-25 corridor, Wagon Mound now reporting some pretty good snow. We'll go through those snow amounts in just a second, but really advisory level snows across a good area of eastern New Mexico tonight, and some areas are going to do even better than that. When we say advisory levels, well, in this particular case, if you're out in the plains, 1 to 4 inches, and if you're up a little higher in elevation, the numbers will go up from there. But given that Eagle Nest and areas like that doing well already in the northern mountains, we could see those numbers be pretty impressive in a small area by the time this is all said and done. But we do have that winter weather advisory across the east. Here we go. It's our weather disturbance here, and you can see the real expansion and what's going on here with the snow from just north of Roswell through Tucumcari up into the northeast and stretching up into the northern mountains here. And we'll continue to see the mountains get hit over the next few hours, and then east central and then southeast areas will continue to be hit because the storm's just going to drop its way down here. So as it does, it takes that best chance for snow with it as it drags a little farther down to the south. But Rosiata, 10 inches of snow from this, Mora 6 inches, Angel Fire 5 inches, Wagon Mound 5 inches, and Eagle Nest 3 inches of snow. So already looking pretty good from a small storm, but still doing pretty good work in spots. 36 degrees in the metro, northeast winds at 10 miles an hour. Temperatures across the north mainly in the 20s, 30s and 40s out to the east, and then down to the south, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Today's highs did not get all that warm, 30s and 40s to the north, some 50s out to the east. And if you wanted the warm temps, you had to go down to Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs. We're in the high 50s today. We won't come in anywhere near that tomorrow. Going to knock off 20 degrees thanks to the cool air that is sliding down the east side of the state and our weather disturbance. So we're going to get a northerly flow after we push this storm on through, and that will help to keep those temperatures down. So look what happens tonight as that moisture and snow just slides down to the south. So we'll see the focus go off the mountains, go into east central sections, and eventually across the southeast through tomorrow morning here. And then by tomorrow afternoon, as you can tell, there's not much left across the state here. So this is going to be a quick mover of a storm. And I think through tomorrow at noon, that's what we'll watch most closely. And then those chances for trouble continue to back off from there. How much snow could we see? Well, at this point over the northern mountains, we have little pockets here. We could get 6 to 8, 10 inches will be a possibility in the higher elevations. Down here a little lower, 3, 4 inches, 5 inches of snow will be a possibility in those east central areas of the state. So definitely worth watching. And you know this much, I-25 and I-40 could be a little messy for at least a short period of time as this thing kicks across. Now tomorrow, spot snow will remain a possibility across the southeast, especially early on in the day, but then that will go away late in the day. By Wednesday, northerly flow keeps temperatures fairly cool, but a lot of sunshine, and then we get ready for a warming trend on the way west to east flow. That will push temperatures up significantly across the area. In fact, we're going to be close to 60 here in the metro by the time we hit Saturday, only to see another series of storms and a big trough try to set up for Sunday and Monday to bring more snow. 31 in Durango, 29 Pagosa Springs. No issues with this storm for you guys. 39 in Gallup, 36 in Farmington, out in Chinle, 37 degrees. Same deal across the southwest, pretty quiet, mostly sunny. Nice afternoon on the way. 48 in TRC, 46 Silver City, and 50 in Glenwood. Over to the southeast, we will see the chance for snow showers, especially early in the day, but later on in the afternoon, that chance starts to back off. Wednesday, sunny with a temperature rebound. Up to the northeast, clearing through the day, and it will remain cool, but travel could be tricky. The good news is we'll get above freezing in most areas of the northeast, so that should loosen up the roads. 33 in Taos, 41 in Espanola, and 30 in Chama. We will see some snow, and then that will back off. Same deal in the East Mountains. We're going to have some snow showers overnight. A few inches of snow will definitely be a possibility. Over into the metro area, mostly sunny with cooler temperatures. 45 downtown, 44 Rio Rancho, and 45 out on the west side. And then that temperature march starts tomorrow and doesn't finish till we get into Saturday, when our high will be 57 degrees. Aaron?
Thank you, Mark. One of the most intimidating places to play college basketball has been the pit. The student section used to be part of all the excitement, but student attendance has been decreasing. News 13's Marissa Lucetto reports on what the school is trying to do about that.
If you've been to a game in the past few years, you've probably noticed more and more empty seats in the student section. Well, today the university was using free food to convince students to take advantage of the already free tickets. It's the cheering, the noise, and the rows of students from the front row on up to the top of Section Y that help make the pit one of the worst places to play for visiting teams.
I've always heard about the pit being a really popular, really lively place with a ton of people going.
I heard that we had a really good team and that we normally have a lot of fans there and there's a great atmosphere.
But the past few years, getting students to show up and be part of the intimidation factor has become a problem. The student section at the pit is thinning out, and students say they don't know why.
Coming here, I kind of expected more a bit hype for the basketball team. Not really anyone I know really talks about it too much.
If you come to the pit and it's not loud, it's just not. Like last year I came to games and it was definitely louder.
Definitely just from last year to this year, there's definitely been a decrease.
It was quite a big hype, and then when I went, it just kind of disappointed.
UNM is even finding ways to draw students in and lure them with free food. Today, UNM gave away Chick-fil-A grub at the sub to students, along with student section tickets to Wednesday's game against Air Force. UNM students have a long way to go to match the student sections at schools like Gonzaga, Purdue, and San Diego State, just to name a few. Students who do go to the games want it to be like it was in the past.
It really pumps up the team, and they do better when they have their peers surrounding them, cheering them on.
Tickets have always been free for students unless the student section fills up. Then students have to buy their tickets for a discounted price and sit in another section. Marissa Lucero, KRQE, News 13.
Just 3 years ago, ESPN named the pit one of the 10 most intimidating college arenas in the entire country. That was in Steve Alford's final season at UNM. If you are looking to rent a new apartment, please be careful. Some people are trying to rip you off. The state attorney general says there's been a rise in reports of Craigslist rental scams all around New Mexico. They say when someone is looking to rent on Craigslist, the so-called landlord will not be available to show the property, but promises a great deal if that person just sends money. That money is gone for good. Some file video right there. All right, Jared's next in sports on News 13. And just ahead, you may already know the X-Files show has returned. We will tell you about the episode that featured New Mexico.